This podcast contains explicit content.
What it do?
What it is, soul brother?
What's going on, eh?
This podcast is hardly focused.
What's going on, man?
About it.
Dissecting the news, one tangent at a time.
When there's nothing left to burn, you have to set yourself on fire.
Welcome to Hardly Focused. Mike Tarara, Jack Gill. You can get us at hardlyfocused.com. We are on your favorite podcast app. We are on YouTube. Just search all those fine places for Hardly Focused. Mike Tarara, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing okay.
Anything new and exciting happening with your life?
No? Question mark? Question mark? Should it be?
I don't know.
I got the Mass State refund check.
Oh, yeah. Okay, tell me about that because I haven't qualified for a refund in like 2 years now.
Well, apparently they did some math and they're like, hey, we overcharged you for taxes, I guess, or there's a surplus somehow. And they're like, here's what we should owe you. And so I got a check.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So
was it a substantial check?
$678.
Damn.
Decent. Yeah.
I want $678. What the fuck?
I don't know. I have to have 2 kids and file jointly married.
See, I can't do that anymore because I'm not that anymore.
At all. Any of them. Yeah, I know.
So I've been filing separately, and because of that, then I've had to owe for the last couple of years. Now, thankfully, last year I didn't have to owe as much as I did for 2020, but it still really sucked. 2020, I think I owed like $3,000 or something, and then last year was, I think it was less than $500. So hopefully this year it will even out a bit, but who the fuck knows? Have you seen now? You saying that you got in the mail a check for, was it $678?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how late at night you watch television, and this is something I've always wanted to bring up here on the show and just haven't. And then now Toucher and Rich keep bringing it up, and I'm like, well, crap, now I've missed my opportunity. But this seems like the perfect opportunity to bring it up. So very late at night on television, because I'm always up and awake, there are commercials for this religious, I don't know if he's like a pastor, a reverend, or just a cult leader.
All of the above.
But they call him Peter Popoff. And this man wants to sell you the miracle spring water. Now, here's the thing about the miracle spring water. If you do something with the miracle spring water, we're not exactly sure what. Random instances of good fortune can happen where you could receive in the mail, for example, a check for $678. And it could be in no way related to taxes, or the state or at the federal level taking too much money out of your paychecks. No, it's because you ingested water from a questionable source, and now you're blessed with good fortune. That's how it works, Mike.
And the hot trots because it's from Mexico.
Yeah. This is what.
He is a televangelist and apparently a debunked clairvoyant and faith healer.
Amazing. Clairvoyant. My only familiarity with that word is clairvoyance is what you use in Skyrim if you're lost.
Yes, to find your path.
And it shows you where to go.
Except the clairvoyance was his wife talking to him via a hidden earpiece.
Spelling bee? Spelling all the big words?
Apparently, yes.
Here's audio from that commercial. Starts off with a caption that says, "These are the men who divide you and follow mere natural instincts and do not have the spirits.
Reverend Peter Popoff wants you to know that God can reverse every negative verdict in your life. You don't have to live a life sentence of lack and defeat. You can be free to enjoy all of God's richest blessings. That's why he wants to send you your free packet of Miracle Spring Water, your point of contact for the miracle you need, now in a larger size.
I had been in 2 car accidents, and the doctors kept saying, "Oh, here, you got to take painkillers." I used your Miracle Spring Water, and it's gone.
The banks had told me that I could not get another home. I prayed, I believed, I followed every instruction, and on May 26th, we closed on our dream home.
Stop settling on less and reach for God's best. God is a God of more, and now there's more Miracle Spring Water in a new, larger packet.
You had sent me the water and I used it. You told me I was going to get a check for $7,000. Sure enough, I got a check in the mail. It was exactly $7,000.
You stupid idiot. You did your taxes and you probably got a refund. Or it's alimony and you forgot, because who would want to be married to you, you train wreck?
Basically, yeah. Or these people are part and parcel of his ministries that are in on it.
It comes in.
I'm a paid paid spokesperson.
Yeah. It comes in a blue. Well, in this case, the larger amount comes in a blue packet, and it's like, it looks like a free sample of like hand lotion. You know what those come in? They're like, rectangle shaped, and you just tear it open. But again, like, what do? Do you drink it? Do you splash it on yourself?
I don't know, because God is dead.
God is dead. That's a song by Black Sabbath off currently their final album. You never know, they could come back and surprise us.
Not Kiss, man. They're not on their 15th farewell tour.
True. Okay. I'll wrap this up. More of this commercial here.
You had sent me the water and I used it. You told me I was going to get a check for $7,000. Sure enough, I got a check in the mail. It was exactly $7,000.
Another check for $4,700 for me to move to New York City. Glory to God. Supernatural wealth transfer.
I will send you the Miracle Spring Water. I'll send you the instructions. I'll tell you how to use it to see total victory in every area of your life.
Step 1, open packet. Step 2, drink.
Step 3, profit.
No, step 3 is usually the question marks, and then step 4 is profit. But
gotcha.
How dumb do you need to be to be sent instructions for how to use water?
Well, because if I don't send you the instructions, you're not going to do it properly, and it's not going to work, man.
Well, I guess if you're this much of a religious freak, then you need instructions to perform simple tasks. So that makes perfect sense. Okay. I'm not going to play any more of that. That's the gist.
Please don't.
That's the gist of it. Basically, Mike, very obviously, did you get Peter Popoff's Miracle Spring Water? Very obviously. And did you then receive a check in the mail for $678? And in no way are the two connected.
Praise Jesus.
Praise the flying spaghetti monster. Indeed. Now, it should be, if I may break the fourth wall here, Mike and I don't, the extent of our conversations that we have outside of the show are limited to Facebook, pretty much. So.
Yeah. I lack the time available with small gremlins to break away from the house a lot of times.
So I can find out what's going on in Mike's life by getting together for the podcast and hitting the old record button.
Yep.
And that's how.
Hey.
So, well, with that said, and with that out of the way, today, whenever you may be listening to the show, because I keep saying tonight, because it's at night when we record the show, but it's not like we're doing it live. Fuck it.
No, we're not Bill O'Reilly. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
So whenever you may be listening to the show, in this installment, we will discuss, we got a lot of music news to discuss, because there's also a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in politics, and I don't want to oversaturate this episode with the serious stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, Mike, you have some thoughts about what's been going on with the midterms and with the Now, as of this recording, it's impending. By the time we post it, it will have already happened. But Donald Trump's 2024 presidential campaign announcement. So,
yeah. Yeah. It's like, is it Craig Robinson? Yeah.
So let's quickly regroup and we'll come back and we will jump right into it. How's that sound? Okay, good. We'll be right back. Stick around.
Work that sucker to death. Come on now. Work that sucker to death.
Hardly focused.
This podcast contains explicit content.
You are listening to Hardly Focused.
Let's begin the show by starting it.
Hey, welcome to Hardly Focused. Mike Tarara, Jack Gill. You can get us at hardlyfocused.com on your favorite podcast app on YouTube. Just search all those places for Hardly Focused. And big news in the world of politics. Oh, where to start? Donald Trump has officially announced, as of this recording, he has officially announced his intention to run for office 2024. First time since Grover Cleveland could we potentially have a president serving two non-consecutive terms.
Assuming he doesn't get indicted and go to jail in the next 2 years.
Now, something I heard, I believe it was on the CBS Evening News, was that if he runs and he gets elected, then this could actually circumvent all of that, and it would only delay the process.
He's trying to do.
Imagine having that power that, like, you run for president because you have a high degree of...
As Nixon says, when it's the president does it, it's not illegal.
That's now what Mike said.
Disembodied head of Spiro Agnew.
Now, what Mike said is translated, of course, from what I had said.
Hey, Bob, I made you famous. How are you going to do me like that? I'm nothing like that guy. I created the EPA, and this is my real hair. In summation...
He did actually create the EPA, which is more than we can say about good stuff for Trump. So
right. He also didn't he win on Laugh-In too back in the 60s?
Possibly, I don't know.
When he was running against Kennedy. See, the only reason I remember that is because of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. On Millionaire, the first individual to win $1 million, this jabroni by the name of John Carpenter, no relation. The question was, which future U.S. president appeared on Laugh-In in 1960? And the answer was Nixon. And this was the guy who he hadn't used any of his lifelines up until that point. So he uses his phone a friend and he calls his father and just to go, I don't need any help. I just want to let you know I'm about to win $1 million.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
He's about to be a millionaire. Let's get your father on the phone. Thanks to our friends at AT&T.
From our friends from Nextel.
we pulled him up in the old 9X Yellow Pages. The old 9X building, by the way, on Route 9, and I think it's technically Southborough. It used to be a giant 9X building. And you know how, like, the phone buildings are always giant, square, like, nondescript buildings?
Oh, yeah.
It has been converted into the Ken's Dressing Factory.
Oh, Ken's. All right.
Of all places. And it's right down the street. It's about 10 minutes down the street from the Ken's restaurants, which I need to go to sometime.
Well, it's there. Better do it now.
You're familiar with the area, obviously. It's all been done up over the last couple decades. All the buildings look all new and futuristic, what have you, except for the Ken's. The Ken's looks like it's a product of the 1800s. And it's just kind of sat there while everything has been developed around it.
As is tradition.
But anywho, yeah, Trump, imagine having that power where you could run for president and you have a high degree of confidence that you could actually win and get elected. All to avoid for at least 4 years or 4 years getting arrested and going to jail. Now, I'm dumb with this. Do you know this? If he runs and gets elected for a second non-consecutive term, now does it reset and he can do 8 years and effectively?
No.
Okay.
It is 2 terms, regardless of where it's split.
That is good to know.
Yeah.
Now, how old would he be when, say he gets elected and gets out of office? How old would he be? He'd be in his 80s at that point, right?
Right now, let's say it's 2022. He's 76. So 78 when he gets elected, 82 when he leaves.
Okay.
Assuming that nightmare scenario happens.
It's really bad when that's the nightmare scenario compared to like how close we are to the brink of World War III with Poland getting bombed today.
True. But I feel like enemies from without can galvanize. Enemies from within just literally tear us apart. And there's some enemies from within, including a dick sucking fluffer named, Donald Trump for Putin's penis. So
yeah. Now you're interesting in that you would want, if it was like literally the only 2 choices that you had, you would take Trump over DeSantis.
Because Trump is incompetent and stupid and a fucking blowhard. DeSantis is more calculated evil and generally more competent in a degrees of mental retardation kind of competence here. So yeah, Trump is only looks out for himself, and he'll fuck things over to help himself, which makes things worse for everybody. But in a less, he fucks it up to where it's so obvious he's fucking it up, where it's easier to clean up. DeSantis will do things in a malicious way that's like designed to fuck you over because he wants to fuck you over. Like Trump's fucking you over because he wants to help himself. DeSantis is just like, I'm just going to fuck you over because I hate you.
It sounds sort of similar to the way I interpreted it with Pence, because Pence, like actually having a political background, could have done the exact same.
Pence is competent enough to make things worse.
Do you think?
I think he's smart enough not to run. I don't think he'd take Trump's nomination as vice president, because he'd be like, you almost fucking killed me, you asshole.
Oh, he won't. He did an interview with David Muir from ABC. He did an interview with Pence a couple days ago. Very critical about Trump, critical about the insurrection on January 6th.
Yeah, because he almost fucking died on January 6th. So yeah.
It's very clear that at this stage that Pence would not be the VP unless there's some sort of...
No, you know who's going to be VP if he tries to run again? One of his kids.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. Can that... I guess that can happen. There's no like...
Legally, yes.
There's nothing against like nepotism.
No.
Who do you think it would be? Don Jr.?
No, it'd be his daughter.
Ivanka?
Yeah, because the other one doesn't even have a name.
Tiffany? Tiffany, you just got married?
Yeah, exactly. Who? I've got another daughter?
Yeah, exactly. Tiffany's the one who's been very critical about him, though, right?
No. She's not been critical. She's been quiet.
Isn't there a Trump daughter that's like, fuck you, Dad? I don't want to be part of this family.
No, that you're thinking of Lana Trump. Is it Laura Trump? Lana Trump. There's a Trump. No, Laura Trump is not the one I'm thinking of. She's married to fucking one of the 2 dipshit Hardy Boys. Who am I thinking of?
I know that there's another Trump out there who's like, I don't associate myself with this family. Yeah. The views of this orange turd do not reflect my views just because of our last name.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta suck if your last name is Trump and you are not connected to that family in any way. It's kind of like if your name was Adolf, right? Like,
well, didn't all the Hitler family like vow not ever to have kids so that the name would die off?
Can they just legally change their name? Like, yeah, we are now the Johansons.
Well, I think they were like this, so that there's no one that can claim his genes.
Right.
They're like, no. There's no way. The name change is not going to be enough. There's no one to be like, I'm the descendant of Hitler. I'm going to create the Fifth Reich. Great. Good for you, you fucking loser. Go to art school.
Score 1 for forced sterilization. All right. Yeah, well, I guess we are fucked if we do, and we are fucked if we don't. Because again, Poland now seemingly, I'm going to guess it was by accident they got hit with a couple missiles today.
We're going to assume as much, but
this is
they've been really helping Ukraine, and I have a feeling it's not as incidental as people would like, because Poland shares a hell of a lot of border with Ukraine. So I mean, not as much as Ukraine shares with Russia, but yeah. In order for the Russians to hit Poland and Russia don't really share a border. You can count that little sliver between Lithuania and Poland. That's that's whatever.
Sure.
But realistically, the real Russia doesn't share a border with Poland, because they're not launching missiles out of the Kaliningrad Oblast area. That's just not happening. They're launching missiles out of the southern area, and that overflew all of Ukraine or all of Belarus and hit Poland. So they got some explaining to do.
So later in the episode, I do want to talk about the band Foreigner. I guess, again, no pun intended. However, this reminds me, this is how I'm picturing this in my head with Poland getting hit today by Russian missiles, is I'm at this Foreigner show a few years ago at the Pavilion, whatever it's called now, in downtown Boston. And it's Foreigner and Cheap Trick and Jason Bonham. So during, I think it was actually during Foreigner. So I get up, I get in the line for the bathroom, and there are in front of me 3 individuals. Okay, 3 individuals. There's the 2 guys directly in front of me are, my build, your build, Mike. Just 2 average white guys, and they're fighting about something. I don't know what the hell was going on, but they're fighting, and they're in each other's faces. And one guy's like yelling for security, and people are ignoring him. I can hear others, someone walking by going, "Shut the fuck up!" So these 2 guys are fighting, and then they get physical, and the guy directly in front of me bumps the dude who's now 2 people in front of me. Number 2 hits the 3rd guy, who is built like John Fetterman, who turns around, and the look on his face I could not replicate if I tried. And his face is red, and he immediately grabs the neck of the dude that bumped into him. And that's when security came over and had to break it up.
I must break you.
This large man is Poland. That is the guy that was just minding his own business, who's also the guy you don't want to fuck with, and got bumped by Russia. And now both Russia and Ukraine are looking at Poland going, "Oh God, oh shit, we're sorry, sir. Oh my God, oh God, run." Whereas poor Ukraine, like, they're just like, what the fuck? We're just getting our ass kicked. Now Russia's the one who all of a sudden not as tough as you'd think.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, because if you indiscriminately attack Poland, there's been talk that Poland's going to invoke a NATO article. Yeah. Be like, hey guys, you just attacked 30 countries.
We'll find out tomorrow, Wednesday, 16th.
Yeah.
They're having an emergency.
Hey,
they're having an emergency.
Who wants to be involved in a global thermonuclear war?
Yeah, they're having a meeting to discuss. Article 4 is basically consulting the other superpowers in NATO to.
Apparently, Moldova is getting affected by it as well, because the blast affected some power lines that support Moldovan electricity.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's 3 countries right there. Like, really? I mean, Moldova is not exactly the military powerhouse of the world, but they're just like, dude, what the fuck? I mean, we're not even Ukraine.
This has been the fear, this whole time, is what happens when NATO gets involved. Well, guess what? NATO's involved now.
NATO's going to get involved, and we're going to find out, because it's a question of whether or not Putin's crazy enough to use nuclear weapons.
This is literally the day after. This is exactly what happens in the day after. It's when NATO gets involved, and that's when the escalations start.
Well, I hope you built your fallout shelter.
Oh, dude. When we talked about this before, I'll say it again. When those bombs go off, man, I want to be caught in the blast. I want to be like in Terminator 2 when everyone just blows away to dust. I want to be that. I want that I want to be Sarah Connor holding on to the fence. I want that to happen to me because look at dude, I've lived a good life, right? I've done everything I've wanted to do. In fact, I've done several things
I didn't want to do.
Well, that, but hell, dude, got divorced, got married, got divorced, bought a house, man. I'm doing things that I think I get a second chance to do, and I'm doing. I've done everything. Take me now. I don't care. Just fucking kill me. Because also that means I don't have to go to work. Think about that.
There you go.
Am I the only one who just wants to die?
Probably.
Yeah. So anyway, we wait for World War III with bated breath, and it'll be interesting to see if Trump gets elected again. I guess just how quickly it happens.
Basically, yeah.
You know it's going to be. He's going to, if the first, because there's a scene in the day after when the president finally addresses the nation via radio and like doesn't really, it's supposed to be like a reassuring message and it's not reassuring in the least. And it doesn't really answer any questions. And in the original broadcast, it was done by a Ronald Reagan impersonator. But I can imagine like if it happens during like Biden's presidency or, whoever takes over, it's going to be something presidential, right? It's going to be something that makes sense. Trump, meanwhile, would be, no nuclear war was better until I took office.
Yep.
Nothing's going to make any sense, and he's going to take credit for everything, and that somehow make it worse. Somehow make post-apocalyptic America worse.
I look like a jackass.
What do you think about Arizona?
I think it's hilarious because that bitch is crazy.
Carrie Lake?
Yes.
Carrie Lake, who I don't think I've ever actually seen a photo of her. I just am envisioning Cecily Strong from SNL.
You're pretty close.
She's I don't know if you've been watching SNL, but she's been playing Carrie Lake and doing a pretty good job at it too. In fact, I would say a damn good job.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, facial structure is slightly different, but damn close.
I was trying to find this.
Damn good.
It failed. Carrie Lake loses. Arizona's blue with Katie Hobbs elected governor, and she's governor, right?
Because apparently, the reason Katie Hobbs won is rampant voter fraud.
Oh, of course.
So,
but I'm correct now because I'm losing track with like who's getting
Carrie Lake
elected
does
to
pull
what.
out a win, and then of course the voters definitely chose correctly, and there is no issue.
Okay, I saw something on Twitter. Of course, I was on Twitter, but Arizona could they could shut the state down if there's no recount by December 6th. Which no, it's not happening.
She's gonna want it to happen, but she's a psycho bitch, and she can go fuck herself.
1 for Martin, 2 for Martin. Would you like to hear it again, Bart? Yeah. So Katie Hobbs wins, Carrie Lake loses, and then both Meghan McCain, who she had a really good one on Twitter. It was just an image. It was just the two side by side, Hobbs and Carrie Lake, and just the caption one said winner and the other said loser. But then Liz Cheney had an even better one, according to The Hill. So it's thehill.com. In a tweet on Monday, which is now since deleted, by the way. In a tweet on Monday, Liz Cheney quoted a tweet from Lake from late last month that included a letter that mockingly thanked the congresswoman for her, quote, anti-endorsement. Cheney had weighed in on the race by urging voters to cast a ballot against her fellow Republican, Ooh, yeah, when you got two Republicans going at it.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie Lake said, "Thank you again for the huge boost to our campaign. Enjoy your forced retirement from politics. I know America will rest easier knowing that one more warmonger is out of office." And now Carrie Lake has since lost the election for the governor's race. Mm-hmm. So Cheney then tweeted and then later deleted, "At Carrie Lake, you're welcome."
You know what? She shouldn't have deleted it. Just own it.
Yeah,
just
keep that shit up. Oh, God, I hate it when they delete it. God, that's cowardly.
Yeah, just own it. You're not an active senator anymore. Just own it. Be like, yeah, bitch, go fuck yourself.
It doesn't matter. Like, you got the power of the last name and Cheney behind you. Like, what?
Yeah.
You can do whatever. You can shoot someone and get away with it.
Yeah. When apparently she shoots, she doesn't miss. Cheney family legacy.
So, there you go. Let me bookend this real quick. Just another article from the Hill here. I guess 5. Well, now it's happening. So, I mean, now he's definitely going to at least run and try. 5 questions that the Hill had about Trump potentially now officially announcing his intention to rerun. Well, Trump actually declares candidacy. Well, he did. The biggest question is the most obvious. Will Trump truly launch a 2024 bid? Yeah, well, no shit. Do any major networks carry the event live? You know what? We got to a point, too, where Trump, especially like at the end of the presidency and after the insurrection, where Trump would, I remember he was giving a conference, he was doing a press conference, and it was being carried by all the major networks. And then like a minute into it, they all pulled out.
Yeah, they're like, this is just stupid bullshit. We're done.
Because he immediately came out and started, like, the first thing came out of his mouth was, "As you all know, I won the election. I received more votes than anybody. Quadruple the time of votes."
Hit the dump button.
Yeah. Does he attack other Republicans? Well, of course he did, because all the ones that he was support, all the ones he supported for the midterms all lost, right?
I believe almost all of them. Yes, almost all of them.
Here's a couple of ones that he's been very vocally against. Ron DeSantis, obviously, or as he called him, desanctimonious.
Which is a big word for him.
A really big word for him. That's really clever, man.
Yeah, I was like, damn, did it actually come out of his mouth? Yeah.
Someone had to have written that for him.
I'm a very intelligent person.
The most intelligent. I'm a genius.
Since then, Trump has also attacked Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, as well as reprising his frequent attacks on Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, McConnell. Yeah, I mean, the problem is McConnell's going to live another 100 and something years, right? How long does a turtle live?
Aren't there some that have been alive since like the Stone Age?
I think like a couple 100 years, maybe the max.
Okay. What are they, ghouls?
150 years. So he's got another 80 years to go.
God, they're literally ghouls. They remember when the Great War happened.
Oh, yeah.
Some of us were even alive before the bombs fell, smooth skin.
Yeah, I mean, he's no Greenland shark that can live up to 400 years. But yeah, turtles live a while. Yeah, yep.
How defensive is he about the midterm results? They say, the Hill says, Trump has clearly been hurt by the outcome of the midterms.
Well, it was supposed to be apparently, and I never paid attention close enough. Apparently, it was supposed to be a red wave, and apparently there was a red wave because every woman's period is like, "Go fuck yourself, give me back my rights." I'm voting blue.
Yep.
So yeah, the red wave happened just not the way they thought it was going to be. So they barely are hanging on, but they barely gained the House, which apparently it was close anyway. But apparently, it was supposed to be a huge upset, and the Senate is still in control. So. Usually that's when things flip. Midterms is when the party in power loses a lot and they barely lost anything. So it was a huge upset.
Last question from the Hill here. Are there any surprises? I guess if there was a surprise, it would be that he didn't announce his candidacy or his intent.
And then he's like tiptoeing around it, but he's going to announce as soon as he can because what's the deal? The sooner you announce, the more you can make campaign contributions, and then you can pad his own stats, and then he can try to see if by becoming a presidential candidate somehow keeps him from being indicted. But fuck his ass. He's going to jail. I hope he fucking rots forever. Tell me how you really feel, Mike. I know.
Hamburgers. We have pizzas. We have 300 hamburgers. Many French fries.
I just hope we have if he gets elected and if we don't blow ourselves up, then I really hope we have another moment like that where the government shuts down and he has a feast of fast food from every fast food restaurant in the area.
Sad, truly sad.
Little quick salads.
And don't forget to top it all off, wash it down with some.
You know what hydrosonic is? Water.
Okay, there it is. There is our political discussion for the night, for the episode. All right. When we come back, we will switch gears and we will talk about music. A lot going on in the world of music. We will return. Stick around.
To be a fly on the wall for this conversation.
Bob, you're in the room. You are listening to Hardly Focused.
This podcast contains explicit content.
User at SKCHGO.
You know what? He sounds exactly like my son trying to spell things. What does this spell? SKGSKO. I'm like, it spells Sagisco. It's not a word.
You are listening to Hardly Focused.
FGFRFRP. Figurfapurp. That's not a word, buddy. You're putting random letters together. It's not working, okay?
Hear more at hardlyfocused.com.
It's to sirs, okay? Stop trying to spell a stutter.
Would you have any intention, any desire to see Taylor Swift?
Not if I had to purchase a ticket.
Okay. But if you got like free tickets, then you would go.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like if someone hands you a free beer, you drink it, you know? Kind of like that.
It's got to, well, I mean, that's taking a risk though. Then did someone piss in it? Did they spit it? Did they jizz in it?
I'm assuming it's a fresh beer that I saw. Okay. Let's do it that way. All right.
You get your free tickets for Taylor Swift and hey, wait a minute. Taylor Swift doesn't have an E in it. These appear
this isn't American Pie. I'm not chugging cum beer, okay?
Hey, Stifler, how's the pale ale? Sarah, these tickets appear to be printed on some sort of cracker. Hey, stop eating my tickets. Anyway, Taylor Swift, her tickets, the pre-sale tickets. I don't even think they're the general sales, pre-sale. Those went live today, and it was a shit show, I guess. It was a total mess.
Yeah, complete shit show.
And now things like this happen, obviously, but this is the first time that Ticketmaster has been straight up like, we don't know what to do. We're overwhelmed.
We done goofed.
Yeah, they crashed. Ticketmaster was down. People weren't able to get tickets. Let me put it in perspective. Gene Bean Baxter from Kevin and Bean was posting on Twitter because he's a big Taylor Swift fan. He also just turned 63, I believe. He was, I guess, like live tweeting his experience with trying to get Taylor Swift tickets, and started with getting into the queue and getting a bunch of error messages saying that due to quote unprecedented demands, like servers are busier than usual, don't leave the line, don't leave the queue. And then it turned into there are 2,000 plus people ahead of you. And then very slowly did that number start to go down. And then at one point he tweets, and there's now 1,007 people ahead of him. And then
you will be served in 235 days.
And the number keeps going down and going down and going down. And then finally, the last one that he posts with the, it was basically, sorry, no more. We are sold out. To which he says, well, good night, everybody.
That sucks.
And he also lives in the UK, so it was well after midnight by the time he posted that.
Ugh.
So, okay, so with just the current, I guess, climate, the current landscape with how things are going in the post-COVID world in which we live. Because remember, for a year and a half, we couldn't have live music.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're in full swing. We're back into it, and everyone's going on tour, which is great. But then you have instances like Blink-182, for example, where even general admission tickets are, if you're lucky, $400 a piece. And then Paramore, the same thing's happening with Paramore, because now they're playing arenas. They've finally hit that level. Tickets are outrageously expensive for their shows. Taylor Swift resale on StubHub today, $12,000.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. Unless you're the original lineup of Led Zeppelin, I'm not paying $12,000 for a ticket.
Right. Yeah, it's not worth it.
Are the original lineup of Led Zeppelin, holy shit, I will pay $12,000 for a ticket. Somebody be dead.
Have a better chance of seeing the Beatles reunite.
I have seen Paul McCartney in concert. That is a worthwhile ticket, regardless of pricing. He puts on a 3-hour fucking show, man, and he does it every fucking time.
That's what I've heard. I kind of wish I'd seen him over the summer when he played at Fenway.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have fucking lost that one and gone and, some other concert there, Chief.
I should have. I went to Riot Fest instead. But, I was in the presence of Coolio right before he died. I kind of wish. I kind of wish I saw him.
Told you not to miss it.
I know, I'm kicking myself. However, the shirt that I procured for the lady has Coolio on it. His name has the full lineup on there. So I told her, like, hey, just take care of this, man. That's going to be a collector's item because it's his. I think that was his last performance.
Oh wow!
De facto last performance. He was dead a week later. But yeah, there's no reason to pay that much. You're right, Mike. There's absolutely no reason to spend that much money on tickets. And I know there's like demand. There's a high demand, and like Blink-182 makes sense because like Mark Hobb, it's Tom's back, but then Mark almost died of cancer. Travis is cheated death several times in his 47 years. So like you can, not that it justifies that price, but it justifies a generally high price.
Yeah, generally high is the key word. Not exorbitant.
Yeah, and it's only happening with these arena stadium level bands. You're not seeing it with anyone else. So, and now it makes me question because one of my favorite bands from Britain is Blur. We all know, we all know them for that song. By the way, that song is called Song 2.
Is there a song 1?
There's not. No.
Is there a song 3?
I don't think there's any song number. It's just that. It's just Song 2 is the one that everybody knows. Because that was like their one hit in the U.S. But they rivaled Oasis in the U.K. They were literally neck and neck with Oasis over on the charts. So anyway, Blur, they never broke up, but they've been inactive for several years, and they are performing at Wembley next year.
Thank you, Wembley. Good night.
Now, Wembley, obviously a very significant venue. I mean, you were just saying Zeppelin, right? You were just saying you would pay to see Zeppelin. Well, the Foo Fighters tribute show just happened at Wembley, but also,
yep.
I guess the closest you can get to another Zeppelin reunion was 2008 when the Foo Fighters played, and then Page and Jones came on stage and performed with Dave and Taylor, and you could only pull that off at a place like Wembley.
Oh yeah.
So Blur's going to be playing at Wembley. I guarantee you those tickets, £12,000.
Probably.
It's going to be it's just going to be because I don't know if they're going to be doing a full tour because they announced they're also doing a festival date next year. I don't know what's happening with that, but they're a band that will not be cheap to see them. It will not be affordable in the least to see that band. So that's just where we're at now. And Taylor Swift, like, not surprising at all because it's Taylor Swift. Like, she's just there. I don't think she's ever going to pop. Like she's a bubble that's not going to burst. She's only going to get bigger and bigger.
I mean, unless she puts out, I'd say 2 horrible albums in a row. I think it's the only way that you can kind of get things to fall a little bit. But even then, her catalog's good enough with enough stuff where she's good. She's set.
Right. Happy to see it. Paramore's opening for her on a bunch of days. She's got Paramore. She's got Japanese Breakfast. She's got a good lineup. And I've said it before.
Is Paramore going to do their new song?
This is why.
No, the Olivia Rodrigo song.
Oh, okay. Good one, Mike. I forgot all about that. I even heard that on the radio the other day. So, completely forgot about that controversy. Here I am answering your question in all seriousness.
They're going to play that new song? Was it Misery Business? No, Good For You. They're going to play Good For You. Oh, okay.
Dude, okay. Misery Business. All right. So Paramore's on tour right now, and they're playing smaller venues as they're leading up to playing bigger venues. And I got to say, man, I'm like, especially after this New York show that Paramore just did, like falling in love with Hayley Williams all over again. I don't care. She's going to be, in 20 years, 30 years, dude, she's going to be what Helen Mirren is to you.
she's your Helen Mirren.
Yeah. She could be 80 years old and still looking good, man. I tell you. But anyway, Paramore's first show on this tour, it was their first show since 2018. And if you remember back after the Me Too movement, they took Misery Business, arguably their most well-known song, out of the set list because the second verse, once a whore, you're nothing more. And they were like, hey, this line's insensitive. We are no longer going to perform the song live. And then years go by. They're playing their first show. The opening to Misery Business is going because it's got sort of that like swing sort of like string intro. Mm-hmm. And then on the recording, you hear Hayley like off mic saying something like hit that snare, like something very, very almost inaudible. Mm-hmm. Well, in the live performance, when that's done, she just says into the mic, fuck it. And then they kick into the song.
Yeah.
And they played it. And she just doesn't sing that verse. She lets the crowd sing it. And then she always makes fun of the crowd afterwards. Like, hey, people getting all worked up about it. Every single person in this room just yelled the word whore. Go screw yourselves. So, but I do not know. I'd be great if like they just start trolling everybody and they start playing Good For You.
It'd be hilarious if they did. They got 50% of the royalties anyway. Whenever Olivia Rodrigo's song plays, it comes out. So whatever, you know. Yep. It would be the hilarious thing if they start singing Misery Business halfway through. Olivia Rodrigo comes out. It's got to be like an LA performance. They cut into Good For You and then they go back to Misery Business and call it a night.
That would be really fucking cool, man. That would be clever.
I don't know if Olivia Rodrigo would be in on that joke.
I can see like Paramore doing it as like a show of good faith.
Yeah.
But it's also ensuring all the parties are, agree to doing it. And I don't see that.
Yeah, because they're like, we're not going to complain because we're getting free money right now.
So there's kind of like two sides to it. One, if you're in Taylor Swift's circle, then you're basically set for life. And all the women that are opening for Taylor Swift on her tour are in her circle. But also, Hayley Williams especially seems like the kind of person that you just don't want to piss off. Because she's definitely had some of her own tribulations with figures and band members. And just recently, their self-titled album from 2013, the album cover features it's Hayley and then the guitarist and the bassist. Well, the bassist, a couple of years after our album came out, exited the band. It was a very, very messy split. There was a lawsuit involved. Eventually they settled. Well, just like yesterday on all the streaming services and then like Paramore's website and everything, the album cover has been edited to have him removed.
Ooh.
Never a good sign. Never good.
That's a bit awkward there.
Never good. You, Mike, mentioned Los Angeles shows in Los Angeles. Well, Morrissey. Now I always say that like there's the Xfinity Center in Mansfield, and I fucking hate that place. I don't know about you. How do you feel about it?
As a name or just as a general venue?
As a general venue.
It's not a bad venue. I just feel like the chairs that they've brought into the lawn area should have gotten removed, and just if it's under, you get the chairs. If it's not under, you get the lawn, and that's it.
Okay. I fucking hate it. I will never forgive nor forget when I went to see Brand New and Modest Mouse there, and the traffic getting into that venue was so bad that I almost missed Brand New entirely. I was able to catch
okay, that's why. So they're coming in and going out. Yeah, well,
because it's like it's they're never going to upgrade it. It's a highway exit. Technically, it's an exit and an exit.
Yeah.
But then it's a 2-lane road to get into the venue. Like, it might have made sense back in the 80s, but it doesn't make sense in 2022. Or even in 2016 when I tried to go to that show. I mean, Modest Mouse was pretty good, but I was there for Brand New. I wanted to see Brand New. I still saw him, but I was like more than halfway through their set. Anyway, I will never go back to that venue unless the Smiths reunite and perform at that venue. It's the only way I will go back.
And are the Smiths ever going to reunite?
Absolutely fucking not. They never will. All 4 members are still alive, and there was a partial Smiths reunion recently at a Johnny Marr show where Andy Rourke, the bassist for the Smiths, joined him on stage, and they played a bunch of Smiths songs. That's great. That's the closest you're going to get. Morrissey is... Well, I guess he's on like okay terms with Johnny Marr, and really you could do the Smiths with just like Marr and Morrissey. People don't know who Andy Rourke is or Mike Joyce. They don't know, but you could still sell tickets for maybe not $12,000 a pop, but pretty high if it's just Morrissey and Marr. But anyway, I guess they're on okay terms, but they will never perform together again, and that's because Morrissey is such an entitled, talentless prick. He is a stupid son of a bitch. Oh, I hate Morrissey so much. Kiss me a lot. Kiss my ass a lot. Oh, you suck so much with your clever song titles and your wordplay. Drop the shtick, you piece of shit. You're in your 60s.
It is funny. Why is Morrissey an asshole? And it's like all these articles.
Why is Morrissey an asshole.com? I'm gonna if it's not a thing, I'll make it a thing. Oh, he sucks. Morrissey was playing at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles a few days ago, and this happens.
Everybody, I just need to make a quick announcement. I'm very sorry, but due to unforeseen circumstances, the show is not going to continue. I'm very sorry. We'll see you next time. Apologies.
Now, that entitled sack of protoplasm is known for canceling shows, especially at the last minute. Notably, if the venue serves meat products or is within like a 5-mile radius of any establishment that sells meat. Meat is murdered. Shut up. But he was actually performing there.
I constantly ask myself, why are people still buying his tickets? That's what I don't get. Like, he's such a bag of dicks. I was going to say just a dick, but I was like, no, he's not just a dick. He's a bag of dicks. Fetid, rotten dicks.
Morrissey is the human equivalent of crypto. He's a risk. You buy tickets from Morrissey, the chances of him not showing up are much higher than the chances of him actually showing up and playing half a show.
Yeah, but it's like he's Axl Rose, but no one likes him.
At least Axl shows up and Guns N' Roses will perform, and they typically do a whole set. They might not show up on time, but eventually they do. And they've gotten better since Slash and Duff came back. Axl has really, I'd say Axl's gotten a lot better in the last like 10 years. about showing up on time, actually giving a shit. Yeah, he's taking it a lot more serious. And I think a lot of it is just. I would argue he at least wanted Slash back. I feel like they're taking it a lot more serious now. Well, the money's also rolling in too.
That too.
But no, Morrissey just stinks. And so he was playing the Greek Theater 30 minutes. He played 9 songs. And the last song he played was "Girlfriend in a Coma." You should be in a coma. Oh God, you had to run fast. You better have run fast out of that venue, because there would have been a riot. Oh, there would have been a riot. He leaves the stage, and the band is just chilling out on stage, like, hey, where did Stephen Patrick Morrissey go? Where is he? So then the band eventually leaves the stage, and then 2 of the band members come back out, and then you got the one guy who's got the unfortunate responsibility now of having to announce to the crowd that Morrissey's left and that the show will not go on. And they hightailed it out of there when that was done.
Yep.
And Morrissey's excuse? It was too cold.
Put a fucking sweater on.
You stupid fuck! You are from the United Kingdom, and you're complaining in Los Angeles that it's cold? Oh, I hope someone hits you with a bus. Good God.
What is this, Mean Girls?
God, exactly like Mean Girls. I hope someone pushes him in front of a tube train, like on House of Cards. He gets the Zoe Barnes treatment. I hate Morrissey so much. Fucking, and it sucks because they're Smith songs. I like the Smiths.
It's funny. I was literally on a Reddit feed, and all day it was like I think it was goth or something like that. And it's like, I love some of these Smith songs, but holy shit, do I hate Morrissey. And somebody was asking, like, how do you like marry the two? How do you reconcile it? And you don't. You just love the Smith songs and you hate Morrissey.
Yeah,
that is what it is.
I guess you love to hate him. I guess I don't know, but oh God,
you hate to hate him. You hate to hate him. Hate.
So, and in his album, he was dropping an album in February, and his label has removed it from its release date, and there is no new release date. I don't know if it's related to him tapping out of his LA show after 30 minutes, but it sounds like the two might be related.
Shocker.
Because that announcement happened literally the day after the concert. I'm looking for on Instagram. What day was Saturday? Let me look at the date for Saturday.
Saturday was the 12th.
Oh, I gotta reach. Oh no, maybe he did 2 shows. I don't know. A friend of mine was at that show. A friend of mine from Los Angeles was at that show, and they were posting Instagram videos from the show, and I was like, "Oh, did Maz show up on? Is Maz there? Did he show up on time?" And she says, "Yes, and he was on time." But now I need to see if he did 2 dates, because if she was at that show, I gotta figure out what the vibe was like when he left and didn't come back. Mike, you're at a show, you're at a concert, and it's either doesn't start or like it starts and then stops prematurely, and everyone is sent home. Regardless, everyone is sent home and the show doesn't happen. What do you do? I guess, how do you react?
It depends on who I'm seeing. Generally speaking, if there's a band is like, hey, we're not doing it. If I'm going to a band, chances are that band is good enough to, I know that they're like, there's something happened. Fuck, I'm pissed. Like, all right, they'll honor it. They'll honor it. I'm assuming that. Knowing going into it like a Morrissey one, I'm pissed and I'm fucking rushing the stage. Fucking Woodstock 99, baby.
You're doing it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But that's the thing. I don't think I would go to a concert of such an asshole, Like the concerts that I would still go to are the concerts where the artist loves what they do and loves the fans, and therefore would be like, hey, guys, we got to cancel. Shit, that sucks. What happened? Hey, 24 hours later, they put out a press release. anybody who's at the concert, we're going to do a refund, or we're going to come back arounders. Either way, that's what I would expect. But yet again, I don't go to a Morrissey concert. So.
I need to ask my friend if she was at the Ontario, California show on the 11th, because that's where he played the night before, and it went, I guess, without a hitch. He played a full show. December 4th, the MGM Music Hall at Fenway in Boston. Morrissey will be performing there. Maybe I'll go.
Allegedly.
Maybe I'll go so I can just boo him the whole time. And boo that venue, too. I don't like that venue. The new MGM Music Hall. I don't like it.
I've not gone there yet, but I just didn't. Just seems like an odd spot.
It's like, kind of like picture a triangle. Okay.
Yeah. I know that location. I know it's where they used to park like the team buses and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Outside of Fenway. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you and I did several pickups and drop offs right in front of that building.
Oh yeah, I'm aware of the area, and I just know that the building has been put there. It just doesn't seem like it's necessary.
It's like a reverse bottleneck when you go in. So like there's not a lot of
a reverse cowgirl.
Kind of, yeah. It's very cramped getting in and out, and the bathroom situation is awful.
So what you got to do is you got to spit on it to lube it up a little bit, and then you can get in.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's what you should be doing, but not everyone's like you, Mike.
Yeah.
So
I'm a gentleman.
Yeah, but anyway, I would, if I was at a show like that, I would just immediately get up and just leave, because I don't want to be there when the shit hits the fan. I'd be like, I gotta get out of here. There's gonna be a riot, probably. Shit's gonna go down, and I don't want to be part of it. Beck and I were watching one of the many Woodstock '99 documentaries that are out there.
Oh my god, I've seen it. Was it a Netflix one?
I think this one was on. This one might have been on HBO. I don't know, because Zach and I were talking about it during the previous episode. So that got her and I to watch, and I've seen one of them before. And it was just a single documentary, and this one's split into episodes.
Yeah, that was the episode one is what okay. Like 3 episodes.
Yeah, this one has,
and like the head guys are like at the press conferences, like, no, everything's fine. Everything's cool.
So those guys, if I remember correctly, the one that I had previously watched, which is a 90-minute doc, doesn't have the head guys in it. But this one did.
Woodstock 99, Peace, Love, and Rage. Okay. Are we talking about?
That's the one I think I saw, because then the one that we watched is Trainwrecked.
That was the one episode clunk.
Okay. Trainwrecked has a lot of boobs in it.
Yes.
But now that would be one of those ones where I don't know if I'd make it past the first day, but I'd get the fuck out of there. The second they decided to start handing out candles, I'd fuck right off out of there. Like, no, I'm not. I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah, that was the Trainwreck, Woodstock 99. That's the one on Netflix. Yep.
I love reading about like how the Chili Peppers respond to do it by playing Fire by Hendrix. But then more importantly, Anthony Kiedis, like equating what the whole festival grounds looked like when the fire started. He's like, it looks like Apocalypse Now out here. Like, that's bad, dude, when that's going down. So yeah, I'd leave. I get right out of there. I don't want to be there when the shit hits the fan. So
yeah, it was interesting, the amount of it was chaos. Now, one of my cousins went to Woodstock 99.
Oh shit.
And yeah, he was like, it was great for what it was, but yeah, he definitely was probably part of that day 3 stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it was insane. Like they literally designed it to be a failure.
I mean, when you have it on an airport tarmac,
and you're charging $8 for fucking water.
$8 in 1999.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like $12, $13, $14 for water. You can't bring outside food. Like Woodstock 99 was like peace, love, and everybody can do it. This is corporate. As soon as you get corporate too much into it, man, it's all about profits. Just get it to the bone. Fuck it. Burn it to the ground.
Okay, Nickelback. That's the one that has the riff you like, right? Is that the one we determined?
Yeah, that is the one. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. They're getting inducted into the Canadian like Rock Hall of Fame or something.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting some big recognition.
Well, I mean, they are pretty fucking big for Canadian bands. So.
Sure, yeah. There's a scene in Trainwreck where a woman who worked at Woodstock 69 was also working at 99. And she's like handing trash bags out to people, and like she sounds like generic like old mother.
Yep.
Yelling at all these whippersnappers to pick up their trash. She's lucky someone didn't take one of those bags and immediately cover her in it.
Yeah, it was the kind of fuck off attitude that people were like, no, fuck you, man. This is a concert.
I love reading about when the writers for The Simpsons, when they were writing one of the greatest episodes of the entire series, Homerpalooza, where they went to Lollapalooza in 95 or 96 as homework. Because they want to know, like, oh, cool. Like, well, we're going to write about a music festival. What's a music festival of the 90s like? And it was just a nightmare. Like, everything's overpriced. All their stuff was confiscated as they came in. Everyone just looked angry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess that one of the writers, I think it was David Merkin, was probably wearing like a polo shirt and jeans, and some teenager approached him and called him a narc.
Narc.
Who's the narc? That fat Jamaican guy. Here's from 2009, August 2009, when Oasis were to headline the Rock in Sign Festival. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's in Paris. And they didn't show up for it. Here we go.
So, Rock on Scene.
Scene, sorry. By the way, speaking, that's Kayleigh from Block Party, who are opening for Paramore on their current tour.
So, Rock on Scene. Rock on Scene. Peter Hill. This is Peter Hill, our tour manager. Everyone, round of applause for Peter. He just told me some very interesting news.
Je suis très désolé, mais Oasis ne marche pas.
Oh, Oasis are cancelled. So I'd like to take this moment to say, oh, that's a shame, isn't it, guys? So I guess by default, we are headlining. I'd like to dedicate this next song to anyone that really, really wanted to see those inbred twins.
I just wanted to stick around here. What song to go into is Mercury. I love this song. Anyway, yeah, Block Party, very obviously fans of Oasis.
Clearly.
I guess not many times you can go on stage and be like, hey, the headliner just pulled out, so by default, we are your headliner.
Perfect timing.
I believe the backstory behind that too was Liam and Noel got into a fist fight backstage.
Shocker, really?
Liam smashed one of Noel's guitars, so Noel just left. He left the venue. He left entirely, and then posted something like a couple hours later saying, "I quit Oasis." So the band effectively broke up.
Now here's the question: did that band decide to play an extended set as they're now the headliners?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know.
We're on a 65-minute set. That's all we're doing. No, headliner. The actual headliner.
I don't know how far.
Let's put another half hour in.
I should look that up. How far in their set they were. I'm going to do that right now. Setlist FM. What an invention! Let me tell you. Block Party Rock and Block Party at Rock and Scene 2009. So they were 10 songs in. And they only played 15, so no double set.
Okay.
And I love that there's a note. Someone added a footnote here. Mercury, in parentheses, Kayleigh announces that Oasis split up backstage and dedicates the song to Noel and Liam Gallagher. Nice. They did at least play their like most well-known songs from that point forward. So
yeah, like, we're not going to do the deep cuts anymore, guys.
And they're also like big enough at that point too to be the like band before the headliner at a festival. So finally, and then we can wrap this up. Finally, speaking of bands splitting up, Foreigner is going on one last tour. Next,
have they done farewell tours before?
That is a good question.
Or is it legit like, yeah, this is a farewell tour?
Most bands from that era have done multiple farewell tours.
Oh, yeah. And they're like, it's their last tour. You know what? I'm not dead yet. So should we do another one? Yeah, let's do another one.
I don't think they ever have. And Foreigner has never split up at any points. They've been around since, according to this, 1976. Consistently. So I don't think they've ever done a farewell tour. Now, that said, in Foreigner, there's only one of the original members left, and it's Mick Jones.
Still Foreigner.
It's still Foreigner, yeah. But Mick Jones, no spring chicken, and there's actually been times in the past few years where he's missed shows, so he hasn't been able to perform with them. So at that point, it's like a Foreigner cover band.
Imagine paying money for a cover band.
Because like Lou Graham's not in the band anymore. He's the front man. Kelly Hansen's the front man. Yeah. Kelly Hansen, who was 15 years old when Foreigner was formed. So I know when I saw them, we talked earlier in the show about me, witnessing a pretty hilarious fight at a Foreigner show. But when I saw them, it was like the night before Lou Graham like rejoined Paramore Paramore. Wow, can you imagine that?
Wow.
That's how you know it's the end of the show. Oh, I want to hear Lou Graham and Paramore now. Oh, Jesus. The following night, the original, like some of the original members of Foreigner like joined them in Connecticut and performed, and it was like the first time in a very long time that like the closest you're going to get to the original Foreigner lineup performed together. That's what I'm trying to articulate.
You got there eventually.
Eventually, I got there. Yeah. I was in New York, July 20th, 2017, Jones Beach Theater, New York. The current Foreigner lineup were joined for their encore by Lou Graham, Ian McDonald, and Al Greenwood to help celebrate the band's 40th anniversary. And then they did the same thing on June 22nd, 2018. But yeah, no, they're done.
The same thing again, and then the same thing again, the same thing again, same thing again, the same thing again.
Oh, I guess Lou Graham
Every year they're going to do another farewell tour now.
Yeah, Lou Graham has actually performed infrequently with Foreigner since then. So I don't know like why he wouldn't be performing with them other than Lou Graham is like pretty fat now. So I don't know if that's like why, but it's just been very infrequent. Here's what I was looking for. Mick Jones was absent from the band's 2021 tour, leaving no members from the original or classic lineup. Thus, none of the band's lineup for the tour played on the original versions of any songs.
It's fucking weird. You're literally just a cover band, man. Just a cover band.
Like, why pay money at that point? Why pay money? Why pay Foreigner money to see that version of Foreigner?
I can literally go down to the bar down the street and just watch a bunch of 50-something-year-old middle management guys jam out on the weekend.
Yeah.
And I was like, just play some Foreigner. Boom. How much did I pay for that ticket? Nothing. They didn't have a cover charge.
Yep. Well, they put on a good show when I saw them, but it was also again of the mindset that I was watching one original member on stage who Mick Jones looks like a mad scientist now too, the way his hair is. Or what's left of it anyway. But
1.21 gigawatts.
Cheap Trick opened for them. I was there for Cheap Trick, man. And Cheap Trick was fantastic. So all right. Mike, do you have a favorite Foreigner song?
I don't think I like Foreigner enough to have a favorite song.
Okay, fair enough.
Why, do you have a bunch queued up?
No. No, I didn't. It's a good question. When you should expect?
I mean, probably like I don't know, maybe Cold as Ice.
Okay.
I think maybe that one. I'd probably maybe Jukebox Hero.
Jukebox Hero.
Hero. Like maybe that one. Like I want to know the ballads. I'm not really into the Foreigner ballads like to listen to. Like if I hear them on the radio, great. But like probably Jukebox Hero.
Okay.
Maybe Cold as Ice is top 2.
Well, I know you're a fan of Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Yes.
Well, they were featured on the soundtrack to not only that, but then the prequel, the PlayStation Portable game Vice City Stories, in the first trailer that was released for the game featured I Want to Know What Love Is. And it was perfect.
Oh, yeah.
One of those cases where it's the music makes the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Gets you
Foreigner has a lot of songs that you know. Whether you may realize it's Foreigner or not, you know a lot of songs. It's just that they're not really, a top tier band. It's like Cheap Trick. You know Cheap Trick songs. You don't realize you know Cheap Trick songs, but you know them.
Oh yeah, I am a super not even like a casual fan of Foreigner. I can just say like I like Foreigner, but like I'm gonna struggle to name like 5 songs of theirs. The reason we were there is because Kate bought it was a rare instance where Kate bought the tickets, and I was more invested in Cheap Trick. But every song they played that night I knew just through osmosis. I was talking to my parents about this recently. So my dad is a music man, and he's been playing in bands pretty much his whole life. And one of his many bands at one point was comprised entirely of his coworkers. This guy, Lee, who very distinct looking guy, a cyclist, cue ball.
A distinct looking man.
But a fantastic fucking drummer. I'll tell you that. He when he plays, he does one of those like stick tricks where he just throws a stick in the air and just catches it flawlessly.
Baller.
Yeah, he's great. And the last time, so I remember he comes over to my parents' house. So I'm still living at home, and my drum kit was there. So he sits down behind it and then just immediately just rips ass. And that's just like my one of my, up until that point, my fondest memory of Lee. My second fondest memory of Lee is we're at this Foreigner Cheap Trick show, and I see like to my left, few seats down, and we actually had open space between us. So there was like a solid like 4 seats, 5 seats, 6 seats, whatever. This tall, very skinny, bald man. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, I know 2 guys that look exactly like that. And one of them doesn't even live on this side of the country anymore. The other one is Lee. But like, what are the chances of me running into Lee at this show? And then the guy at one point like walks by us to get out to like whatever, grab a drink at the bathroom. He like puts his hand on my shoulder. He's like, "Excuse me, bro," as he's like walking by. And I'm like, okay, cool. I find out that night on Facebook, because he's posting photos from it, it was Lee. And I sent him a message. I'm like, "Were you at the Foreigner show?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Where were you sitting?" And he tells me, I'm like, "Dude, I'm sorry I didn't say hi. You literally touched me. I'm going to go kill myself now." Sorry, dude.
Let the nuclear weapons do that.
I'm terrible. I'm so socially awkward. This is why I just approach people now and just start conversations with them, because I don't want to. I feel like I got to make up for that moment. Anyway, that's my anecdote. But yeah. Anyway, rest in peace, Foreigner. All right, Mike. Thank you for being here. Thank you for talking music with me, talking politics, talking Miracle Water. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, that's what I'm here for.
All right. For the rest of you, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We will talk at you next time. See ya. Bye.
Goodbye.
Privatization may not have happened.